again, my friends, and welcome to Vermont Red Pill, the only set of videos that you will find that are red-pilled from the Green Mountain State. And if that's not true and you know of a red-pilled Vermonter, please leave me a comment telling me who it is and how I can find them. Maybe we can do some sort of a combo video, and that would be really exciting. So I just watched the video that Brett Weinstein did with Lex Fridman. It was a podcast. It was 3 hours long, which is a very, very long time for you to sit there and listen to an evolutionary biologist, but boy, was it ever informative. I just saw that Tim Pool did a video. I thought it was supposed to be about Joe Biden saying he's going to, well, not him specifically, but he was going to send people to go door to door to make sure people are properly vaccinated, or to help them get vaccinated, or some information about getting vaccinated. Coming to your house, ringing your doorbell. Tell me this isn't like Nazi Germany. Tell me that the Nuremberg trials don't matter. This is crazy. Coming to my house, I'm going to slam the door in your face. Sorry, government, go away. I don't want you here. And if I didn't do anything wrong, then you can get the F out and leave me alone. So after watching the video, I learned a lot about COVID, viruses, and vaccines in general. And I feel like a lot of my fears about the vaccines are pretty valid now after watching this particular broadcast. Here goes another change of scenery, guys. Sorry about that. I just can't seem to find a spot where I can make a video and not be interrupted. So, back to the podcast and my fears about the vaccine. The vaccine is, well, here's the deal. The more people that are vaccinated, the more mutations that you will get. This podcast was informative, to say the least. If you want to know what to say to the person that you know who says everyone should be vaccinated, you should watch this podcast, or at least check out the first hour. Though I highly recommend watching the whole entire thing, especially if you are curious about evolutionary biology when it comes to viruses. But he talks about other things too, like censorship and what happened to him when he was canceled by the left a few years ago. I'll leave a link in the description to the video so you can check it out whenever you have time. I, again, highly recommend it. The whole interview is fascinating. So after consuming all 3 hours of it, these are some of the thoughts that I had. The more COVID vaccinations there are, the more possibility that COVID-19 will evolve. The virus is looking for hosts. And the more people that are vaccinated, the more it gets painted into an evolutionary corner. Therefore, the more vaccines, the more mutations. COVID-19 has to become a variant in order for it to survive. And I don't really know what the science is on the immunity that people have who are vaccinated to various variants of COVID, but I don't think it's very good. I've been hearing about the Delta variant. It seems vaccinations don't work very well. Now, Israel seems to be having a huge problem with it, and I think that they might be the most vaccinated country, if not one of the most vaccinated countries. So, where's the science in that? If they are all vaccinated and then this variation is going around, then it only proves my hypothesis that the more people that are vaccinated, the more variants you will have among the population. What's scary about that is that if you're not vaccinated at all, you could catch one of these super variants, one of these super varieties, because people aren't taking the precautions that they were taking before. They're vaccinated, right? So they feel safe. No social distancing, they're not washing their hands as much, they're all getting together. Everybody's all pent up. Oh, it's summer too. Everybody's all pent up. And wanting to enjoy the beautiful weather. Though today is rather overcast. If people aren't being careful, then there's a very good possibility we have some super spreaders amongst the vaccinated, because we already have proven and talked about the fact that just because you're vaccinated doesn't mean you can't transmit the disease to someone else. And you can also still get it. And you might be getting one of those very strange mutations, the Delta mutation, or one that is to come that we haven't even come across yet. I'm afraid that people are a lot less careful about what they're doing when it comes to spreading the virus now, even more so than before when we were unaware of it, because people are so pent up and they just can't wait to be with each other and hug each other and hang out with each other. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, because I want people to do that. I think that we have taken way too many crazy measures and given the government way too much power as far as telling us what we can and can't do. But let's just say the government had a plan, and go with me on this. I am not saying it's true. I'm just saying that this is a possibility, right? Because almost anything's possible. Say vaccinations are part of a plan. Everyone gets vaccinated. All of a sudden we have very deadly mutations and variants that are coming out of it because there's less of a pool of hosts. Now the people that aren't vaccinated, they're going to get the viruses from the vaccinated people who think they're safe, who are shedding the virus, super spreaders, and they're getting mad at the people who aren't vaccinated, saying that if you're vaccinated, you're saving lives. And if you're not vaccinated, then you're selfish. You know what? If you're vaccinated, you are part of the problem. You are spreading variants. You are spreading mutations. And mutations can go different ways. They can get more deadly, or they can get less deadly. Here's hoping we get the less deadly variant. But I think we're going to get both of them. I think we're going to get less deadly, and that's good, and it's endemic. It'll make its way through the population, and then we're going to get more deadly variants. And that's where the problem lies. For the people that are not vaccinated, if we get one of these deadly variants, then it's a good possibility they can make us very, very sick. And as we know, getting vaccinated doesn't necessarily mean that you are protected. So what is an unvaccinated person to do besides be extremely careful about everything they do and everyone they hang out with and taking all these extra precautions? So changing your lifestyle completely. Do we do that, or do we do something else? Like, I don't know, throwing caution to the wind and living our lives the way that we were before. If you're an older person or you're a person that has comorbidities, then by all means, talk to your doctor and get a vaccine. Somebody like me, I don't feel as though it's necessary, and I don't think that I'm selfish by not getting one. Phil Scott used to do press conferences, I don't know if he still is, about COVID-19. They were about an hour long, and I feel like a lot of my videos have been about the vaccine later. It's like, hi, I will be your host. Welcome to the Vermont Vaccine Hour. I will be your host, Ayla Click. Really, I feel like maybe I have beat the subject to death, like with a shoe. But other than that, there's things that need to be said, and there's not enough videos covering them. So I am worried about the unvaccinated people, and I don't think vaccination is going to save us. I don't think it's going to help us. And I think maybe it's part of a plan all along. This is the way that you can take care of the people who are insubordinate, the people who don't do what they're told, who said to the government, no, leave me alone. I will do what I feel as though is correct for my body, my choice. Well, I don't think the government likes that. I don't think that the New World Order or the Great Reset likes people having a mind of their own and saying no. They don't like that at all. Now, this is a really good way to find people like that. The unvaccinated people are those people. So the people behind the Great Reset, the elites, they don't like people like that. They don't like people that don't do what they're told. They don't like people that question authority. I've always been like that. I've always questioned authority, whether it was school or work or my parents or friends. Anybody with a type of authoritative way of speaking to me, I will question it. If you're unvaccinated like me, beware. The super spreaders are out there. They think they're safe because they're vaccinated, and all they're going to do is spread more and more COVID and more mutations. And I watched Tim Pool's video today, and since he didn't watch any of the podcast, I don't even know why he would talk about Brett Weinstein. He really should have done his research. He doesn't seem to understand why variants and mutations happen in viruses. Well, it's a smaller group of people that can host the virus, so the virus must evolve. That's not that hard to understand, Tim Pool. Hopefully I've explained it well enough to you over there so that you know what's going on and you can question whether or not this is part of the plan. Is this part of the Great Reset in order to find people who are insubordinate via super viruses that are coming from the people who are vaccinated? They're going to come, they're going to spread throughout the population, and they could be very deadly. And if they are very deadly, they're going to infect the unvaccinated, and they're going to kill us. And that'll be a lot easier for the Great Reset with depopulation. And if you don't want to be that person that sits in their pod and eats the bugs and does what they're told, then you could be at risk. Even the vaccinated, you're at risk too. But maybe if you keep getting those boosters that they're talking about now, maybe that'll protect you. But I doubt it. Some of this will be on YouTube, and some of this will be on a Rumble and BitChute exclusive. This is probably going to not surprise you, but YouTube likes to censor and ban, and I already have a strike. I believe they've already taken a couple of my videos down now. So why push it, right? I'm pretty sure that eventually I will just go to the new tech, and I'll just do Rumble and BitChute exclusives. But for now, I want to try to have the largest audience that I possibly can. There's some interesting sites that talk about a pandemic happening and what the rich people at Davos would do when this would happen. If a virus were to accidentally get out, or biowarfare. I'll leave you a link to the site that I found in the description, and you can read about it, how it seems like this was all kind of planned out. Be careful. Don't let your guard down. Always wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, watch out for the super spreaders, the people that think that they're safe because they're vaccinated or over vaccinated. Just know that these variations are going to happen. The more vaccinations, the more mutations. And the more mutations, the more possibility we have deadly variants coming out of this. Let's hope that eventually COVID runs its course and it won't be nearly as bad as it was in 2020 or as it allegedly was in 2020, because a lot of those deaths were comorbidity, heart attacks, different types of physical ailments that kill people, brain seizures, things like that, aneurysms, but they wrote them down as COVID because after they died, they tested them. Oh, they happen to have COVID, so I guess it was a COVID death. Yeah, they did that. They did that a lot. And we really have no idea how many people actually died. They put somebody who died in a motorcycle accident as a COVID death. So this is the length that these people are willing to go to make something seem a lot worse than it probably is. I can tell the Great Reset to shove it, alright? You can't tell me what to do. You sure as heck can try. but I'm not going to do what you say just because you tell me to. I'm not that type of person, and maybe that makes me more difficult, and I really don't care what the government has to say. I'm assuming that they're just going to throw us in jail eventually anyway, or some sort of labor camp. That's where this seems to be going to. They're going to be going knocking on my door and your door and finding out whether or not you're vaccinated, and then try to get you vaccinated. This seems very crazy to me. Has this ever happened in the history of the world? I don't think so. We're entering new territory here, folks. Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. Take care of yourself. God bless America. I'll see you next time. Bye.